exciting and exceptional Exotica albums. A horde of exciting and exceptional Exotica albums are the result of some recent digging in the vinyl fields here in southeast Wisconsin. I'm about to share those finds with you. That's what's coming up next. Hello vinyl community, music lovers, and anyone else who just happened to stumble upon this video. Welcome to Tone and Grooves. My name is Jeff, and this is an exciting, exceptional Exotica vinyl finds video. It's been a long time since I've made a video. It's been a long time since I've made a vinyl finds video, and honestly, it's because I haven't been finding vinyl lately. Rather irritatingly so, the vinyl finds have been few and far between. Frustrating, actually. In fact, I've been buying more CDs lately than I have been vinyl. I'm gonna turn this. That music seems, you guys probably can't hear it, but it's loud to me. What's playing in the background, for those of you who care about these things, is the Ultra Lounge Sampler promo CD, promoting the Ultra Lounge series on Capitol that was released back in the 90s. So that's what's playing in the background. Fantastic stuff, fitting with the Exotica theme of this Vinyl Finds video. But yeah, I actually made basically a CD finds video here not too long ago, and was gonna post that to my channel and was gonna call it Goodbye Vinyl, Hello CDs, because I've literally have bought probably 50 or more CDs recently, because I've been finding lots of very cool stuff on CD and for super cheap, while the vinyl in this area, as it sounds like is the case across most of the country, if not the world, vinyl prices have gone up. The selection of good quality, you know, high grade vinyl records has gone down. And I finish my thought. I made that Goodbye Vinyl, Hello CDs video, which ended up really kind of being a long rant, and then showing some CDs. So I was in that video, I was really kind of complaining about the selection, the prices and whatnot of vinyl, and was talking about CDs that I found. I don't know if I'm going to post that video. As I was editing it and getting it ready to post and watching it, I was just like, man, I just sound like an old guy, an angry old man complaining about, you know, vinyl and whatnot. And it's like, I don't know if I want to post that. So I don't know if I'll put that up. But I'm excited because in just the last couple of weeks, I've run across some exceptional, exciting Exotica vinyl finds, and I want to share those with you. And saying up front, this is really kind of in honor of Tuco, the vintage vinyl hunter. I've been watching Tuco's videos, and I love and appreciate Tuco's enthusiasm, his faith, if you will, that you know, eventually patience and perseverance will pay off, and you can find cool vinyl records out there in the wild still, and even for cheap. And he's right. So persistence pays off. And you know, as you will also see in Tuco's videos, And as people who have commented on his channel have pointed out, you know, like, good luck going into Goodwill and thrift stores and whatnot and finding, you know, Pink Floyd records and, you know, stuff like that, Led Zeppelin records and whatnot. I mean, that is just becoming much more rare these days. But you can find in the thrift stores, in Goodwill, in the bargain bins at record stores, cool lounge, Exotica, easy listening records that are definitely worth having and that are highly collectible as well, as you're going to see here in this video. So let's see, just today, this is Sunday the 18th of September, just today was in Waukesha, Wisconsin, and had some time to poke around and hit up a record store and some Goodwill stores. The record store, which is used to be Starship Records and is now called Vinyl Vault, is in downtown Waukesha. I was in there for probably half an hour poking around and came away empty-handed. Honestly, as has been my experience lately in record stores, I was extremely disappointed. They're new owners of that store, less than a year, and they've completely reorganized it, redecorated and whatnot. It looks fantastic. They've gotten rid of the dollar bins and have expanded the selection of vinyl. So it was very promising when I first went in, and then quickly began realizing it became disappointing very quickly. You know, records in lesser condition, in my opinion, way overpriced. You know, common like Dean Martin records in literally trashed condition, scratched and, you know, whatnot, $10, stuff like that. Popular, you know, kind of 80s rock, which I know is like the thing now and is super collectible and are becoming more and more pricey. But I mean, things like, you know, common Pat Benatar records, again, in lesser condition, you know, obvious, visible scratch, like odd, like just almost like, not gashes, that's exaggerating, but these big, obvious, like white scratches across the record. $9.99, $10. So I poked around for a while and then gave up and went to Goodwill. And Goodwill, I found some cool stuff. Goodwill, I found some cool stuff in this Exotica lounge theme. So I'm going to share those with you, as well as some others from Half Price Books that I found last week. So we'll start off with the ones today. Oddball record that I know nothing about. Really, I mean, it kind of is in that, I haven't listened to this yet, obviously, but the theme kind of fits with the Exotica theme, and it's in phenomenal condition. So this is Eddie Manson, Percussion Sounds and Harmonica. It's stereo. It's on Spinorama Records. From, I don't know the year. I couldn't find year. I'm going to do like Tuco. I got my little post-it notes here with the information. I'm going to share the value and then what I paid. Guess I need to back up a little bit. All of these records were $2, every single one, whether they were from Goodwill or whether they from half price books. $1.99. Every single record in this lot, in this video, was $1.99. So $1.99, great condition. It's in the shrink, which we're gonna rip off. Gonna get rid of that nasty shrink. Here's the back jacket. It's in really nice condition. It's on this Spinorama label. Vinyl's in fantastic condition. I mean, obviously a budget label. I love the, you know, you got movement and sound. On the back here, you've got paragraph after paragraph just going on and on about how amazing the harmonica is and how amazing harmonica performances and music is. And then I love this, you've got, but not only are the performances on the harmonica in this album equal to and perhaps surpassing other great performances, an added musical thrill is included with the addition of percussion instruments as a counterpoint or subordinate theme in the musical arrangements. Harmonica in itself can be delightful, but with the addition of properly scored percussion background, it becomes positively thrilling. Had to have it for $1.99. Value on Discogs. I'm going to do this like Tuco often does in his videos. I looked them up to make, see exactly which pressing they are and the median selling price on Discogs, and I'm going to share that with you. So bought it for $1.99. It's in fantastic condition. Median price on Discogs. They didn't have this exact pressing, but they had other stereo pressings. So based on those pressings, what they've sold for, it's worth $1. Believe me, it gets way better than that. Also found, this was actually the first record I saw in the bins from across the room as I was heading over to the record and CD section. This is Les Baxter, album's called Thinking of You. This is from 1956. It is an original pressing on Capitol, which looks like this. It's on that turquoise label. I think it's an original. Let me clarify that. I think it's an original. From what I could see online, it looks like it's an original, but I'm wondering if it's, what it's got right is the turquoise label. It has the that silver band around in a circle, and then it has long playing. I'm wondering if there would have actually been a slightly earlier pressing, because that would have had long playing high fidelity, I think, down here, if I remember correctly. So I'm not 100% sure there's like a first pressing, but it's super close to first pressing if it's not. Really nice condition on the vinyl. The jacket, not so much. It's got some ring wear and whatnot. Like I said, from 1955 or thereabouts. Price on Discogs, median price for this album, $6. Paid $2, it might be worth $6. Also today, a little bit of classical. This is Scheherazade, Rimsky-Korsakov. Scheherazade along with, let's see here, Capriccio Espagnol, which is a violin solo, apparently. You got the London Symphony Orchestra, conducted by Igor Markovich. It's on Philips. It's a reissue. It's the back jacket. Made in Holland, in the Netherlands. It's on this kind of blue Philips reissue label. Originally released in 1963. I'm not sure about this particular pressing. Fantastic cheesecake cover. This particular record on Discogs, median price $7. $7. Paid $1.99. Let's see here. How about this one here? This is Wild Hi-Fi Drums. This is a mono pressing, not the stereo, unfortunately, but Wild Hi-Fi Drums. Powerful percussion, dramatic sound, exciting variety. This unique collection presents some of the greatest percussion performances ever released, now gathered in one album. Here are the thrilling sounds of big band drummers, Latin rhythm men, drill field precisionists, all captured in the finest sound. Anyway, great stuff. Again on Capitol, here's the back jacket. Like I said, mono press. Looks like that. This is a slightly later pressing. An original press would have the Capitol label off on this side with a white band kind of going through there. So slightly later pressing, but still from the late 50s, mid 60s perhaps, early 60s, mid 60s. Price online, around $10 on Discogs. Median price, around $10. Paid $1.99. Wild Hi-Fi Drums. Also picked up today at Goodwill this stereo sampler record, the Stereo Disc from Capitol Records. It's a box set, blank on the back. Comes, let's see here, original press on this. There's that label of it. Well, this is slightly different. You got your Capitol over here on the left with not the white band, but they're going up and down, long playing, high fidelity. The next issue of Capitol Records is the label over here with, instead of the words, a white band there. So this is an original press. In here, in the box, which is not in the greatest condition, unfortunately, but nevertheless, the vinyl is in really nice condition. In the box, you've got this little booklet, this stereo booklet, the full spectrum of sound, describing you know, what stereo sound is. Stereo realism, you know, describing the music that's on the album, all about stereo realism and whatnot. This really cool booklet. Anyway, so that's in there, as it should be. Super cool stereo sampler demonstration disc. The full scope of stereo, from the blaring excitement of New Year's Eve at Times Square to the sweeping brilliance of a symphony orchestra in a wide-ranging display of panoramic sound. The Stereo Disc. Bought it for $1.99. Median value on Discogs right now, $10. Okay, so last week I went to a Half Price Books here in Brookfield, and went in there actually looking for books because, like I said, my experience hunting down vinyl, the vinyl finds have been so few and far between that I wasn't even going in with the hopes of finding anything on vinyl that I wanted to take home. I was actually looking for books. Poked around, found, you know, like one book I think that I was going to buy, and then thought, you know, I'll poke through the vinyl and see what I can find. Skipped over the rock section, which I've kind of been doing, and went straight to the jazz section. Went into the jazz section and immediately hit a gold mine of fantastic, exciting, exceptional Exotica records. All $1.99 each. In fact, I left the price tags on these just so you could see that. All $1.99. First up, you know, not super spectacular, but super cool jacket, and it sounds phenomenal. This one I have listened to. This is Morton Gould, More Jungle Drums. This is on, you know, a Shaded Dog RCA Victor. It is a stereo press. Dynagroove is from 1964. And median price on Discogs right now for this is $3. I love the jacket, just super cool. There's that. It's you know, it's funny, it's got this really, I mean, you know, this Exotica kind of cover, jacket cover, but the music itself is really straight up orchestral, with, you know, a tinge, if you will, of Latin, you know, kind of sound. But really, it's very much an orchestral album, which I'm guessing is, you know, hence the median price of only $3. But, you know, an interesting find. Paid, again, $1.99 for that. Next up is little Martin Denny. This is Aphrodisia. From 1959. I'm not 100% sure that this particular pressing is 1959. I'm not 100% sure. It is the black stereo label with the band around, kind of like the Capitol record. Looking at Discogs, it seems like this might be a slightly later pressing. What seems to be the original first pressing is this label, but instead of this here where it says non-compatible, use stereo cartridge only, I think on the original press the original pressing is the label that instead of that, it says RII Curve. So I wrote it down here. It says, yeah, it says RII Curve. I think that's the first pressing. So this is a slightly later pressing, but still in that late 50s, era. Fantastic, just a fantastic, whoop, there goes my notes. Just a fantastic cover. Excellent album. Like I said, I think from 1959. Median price on Discogs for this particular pressing, $6. $6. Paid $1.99. Let's see. More or Less Baxter. This came out of the, again, these are out from Half Price Books. You can see the $1.99 price tag. This is Tamboo. Les Baxter and his, chorus and orchestra, Tamboo. This is a repress. This is a repress. It's on the turquoise Capitol label. It says long playing down here, but it doesn't have the ring. So that makes it a later press. So about maybe, I mean, it's late 50s, maybe 57. Not 100% sure. This might, you know, this is a later press, or later, you know, 50s press. Mono, obviously. Super cool stuff here. It says, Tamboo is the Haitian Creole word for drums. And to the ears of the outside world, tamboo seems the very keystone of native life everywhere. Les Baxter really knows a thing or two about transporting people musically to far-off places. The spirit of the tropics, from Mozambique to Maracaibo, is in his music, with its array of unusual drums, mysterious bells, and strange wooden instruments, all enriched in his fanciful arrangements with the lustrous sound of many strings. So, Tamboo! Les Baxter. Median price on Discogs right now is $8. $8 for Les Baxter's Tamboo. Let's see. One more Les Baxter. No, we got, I think, another one, but some more Les Baxter. This is Ritual of the Savage, or Le Sacre du Sauvage. From 1957, I've got original pressing question mark again. This is the turquoise Capitol label with long playing high fidelity down here, but no silver ring. I'm not 100% sure if an original pressing would have the silver ring. So maybe an original, maybe a slightly later pressing, still from the late 50s. Here's the back jacket. I love these, the blurbs on the back. Do the mysteries of native rituals intrigue you? Does the haunting beat of savage drums fascinate you? Are you captivated by the forbidden ceremonies of primitive peoples in far-off Africa or deep in the interior of the Belgian Congo? This original and exotic music by Les Baxter was conceived by blending his creative ideas with the ritualistic melodies and seductive rhythms of the natives of distant jungles and tropical ports to capture all the color and fervor so expressive of the emotions of these people. The Ritual of the Savage is a tone poem of the sound and the struggle of the jungle, the hue and mood of the interior, the tempo and texture of the bustling seaports and the tropics. Ritual of the Savage, Les Baxter and his orchestra. Median price for this particular pressing on Discogs is currently $12. $12. Paid $1.99. Super excited to find this album. Absolutely super excited to find this album for $1.99. Remember, $1.99. This is Les Baxter Jungle Jazz. This is an absolutely fantastic Exotica jazz album. It is truly phenomenal. Jungle Jazz from 1959. This is an original stereo pressing. It has the rainbow label with the logo off to the side and the words there, long playing high fidelity. That is an original press. Fantastic back cover here, showing you how things were placed in the studio, where the reeds and the brass and the vibes are and all of that. Fantastic stuff. Little explanation of, you know, how things were set up in the studio. Great stuff. For this album, Les has captured the teeming, steaming excitement of South America's jungles in 12 of his original compositions. Yeah. Super cool. It's not just a novelty thing. Like, this is a really good album. It truly is. Just fantastic. Yeah, Les Baxter's Jungle Jazz from 1959, and median price for this stereo pressing and is $15 on Discogs right now, which surprised me because I've actually seen that going for a lot more than that in the past. But anyway, at least 15 bucks median price. Next up is some really truly cool Exotica albums. Here's Chino Africana. This is on the Dot label from 1959. This is an original stereo press in truly phenomenal condition. It's just great. The label looks like that. Dot label, again, paid $1.99. You can see the price sticker on there, $1.99. Love the blurb on the back. Chino was born 30 years ago in a remote part of Central Africa. While still a small boy, his tribe was wiped out in an attack from neighboring tribes. As the sole survivor, he was discovered near death by a missionary and his wife, who nursed him back to health and brought him up. Chino is said to be of a strange race in Central Africa, one that is highly intelligent and greatly feared by other tribes in the area. Blah, 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 blah. His adoptive parents took him with them on their travels through Africa, Haiti, and Cuba, and brought him to the United States, where they settled in Philadelphia. Here, Chino attended school until he was 15, never ceased playing his drums and chanting his exotic songs. Each time he pounds out a rhythm, whether it be a chant of the Belgian Congo, a calypso beat of Cuba, voodoo rituals learned in Haiti, or one of his own unearthly chants of the jungle, he seems to go into a trance as he plays from his soul. Chino holds his audience spellbound. None of that biography is true. It's all hype. I did some reading online. Chino is, I don't even remember his real name, so I'm sorry for that. I can't remember his real name. But born in Philadelphia, lived most of his life in the Chicago area, obviously a percussionist and drummer. But that's where, that's about as far as it goes. It's a truly great album. It really is fantastic. You got songs on here like this, like Breathing Bongos, Swamp Girl, Walking Bongos, African Jazz. It's very much a Exotica album, but with like true, like, you know, some songs have a true like jazz style and vibe, and others have like a more like R&B style. I mean, it's really It's really a good album. It's a fantastic album. Exotica, jazz, you know, cool stuff. Great album. And let's see here. Again, from 1959, Chino, Africana, paid $1.99. Median price on Discogs right now, $25. 25 bucks. Chino, Africana. Super cool album. Got two more left. Two more left. Up next is Maganga. Maganga. This is by the primitive sounds of, and I'm not sure how to pronounce, Takshindu, Takshindo, not sure. From 1958. This is an original pressing on Edison International. I don't know that I've ever seen that label before. You know, at this point, like, I recognize it, excuse me, I recognized a number of these albums just at first sight and just started scooping them up. And then I started going through like the world music section and the miscellaneous section, just kind of seeing it, you know, was there anything else? Most of these were in, a number of these were in the jazz section at Half Price Books. And then I started digging through the world section, and that's where I started finding these, you know, the Chino and this Takshindu and whatnot. And some of them, you know, I'm like, okay, this is obviously an Exotica album, just based on, you know, the cover, this, you know, the name, the title, but I wasn't familiar with them. So I started looking things up on Discog and was just blown away. Oh my gosh, this is a $25 record. Oh my gosh. You know, here's this Maganga, the primitive sounds of Takshindu, on, you know, again, on a label that I don't think I've ever seen this, Edison International. Super cool. Maganga means medicine man in darkest Africa, and here in mood and timbre is Africa. The drums, rhythms, rituals, and dances are woven into a fascinating, percussive, and provocative musical high-fidelity safari into the mysteries of the dark continent. Maganga. 1958. Median price on Discogs currently is $27. $27. Maganga. And last, but certainly not least, this was actually the first album that I saw when I went around the bins and went up to the jazz section, and this was right up front, right there in front, and I was like, oh my gosh, are you kidding me? You've got to be kidding me. This is White Goddess, Frank Hunter and his orchestra. This is on, excuse me, on the Cap label. It's a stereo pressing on Cap. Here's the back jacket in really nice condition. Again, $1.99. Strange, sultry, and seductive, fierce, fascinating, and feverish. Here are sounds to quicken the heartbeat, the tropical fantasy of a hidden world. A woman's voice calls, hypnotic and compelling. Drums repeat the haunting command, and the music weaves a spell of mystery. Frank Hunter and his orchestra, White Goddess, on Cap from 1959. This is an original stereo pressing from 1959. Median selling price on Discogs right now is $100. $100 for Frank Hunter, White Goddess, and I paid $1.99. Fantastic find. Absolutely phenomenal, fantastic, exciting, exceptional Exotica Lounge records. They are out there, friends. I know it's getting frustrating. I've experienced myself. Vinyl finds seem to be, in my experience, few and far between. The prices are going up. The condition seems to be going down. But patience and perseverance definitely pays off. It was so funny, you know, as I was like looking through the bins at Half Price Books and discovering this vein of gold in the bins, and started pulling one after another and trying to like all excited but containing myself because other people were shopping for vinyl as well, and I was like, I don't want to give it away that there's all these phenomenal records in here. So keeping my composure, trying to put my poker face on. And then it was so funny because when I got up to the cash register and, you know, the cashier started ringing me up, this other woman was standing there and she goes, oh, you got the Aphrodisia record. Oh, looks like you got all of those records. These are so cool. And she's going on and on about how cool they are and the cool covers and the cool titles and whatnot. And she goes, I priced these and put them out. I'm so glad that you found them and that you got them. And I was like, I'm so glad that you priced them the way that you did. I just said thank you. Thank you so much. They are really cool, and I will take them home and enjoy them. That's it for this video. Thank you so much for watching, for tuning in, and going along on the ride and diving into these exceptional Exotica vinyl finds. Drop some comments, and you know, I don't know, I'll think about putting up that CD finds video. It was so much of a rant. I was like, I don't know, you know, angry old man just venting. I don't know if that's what I want to have up on my channel, but anyway, I'll think about it, and you know, maybe if you guys, you know, chime in and you want to see it, I'll put it up. But anyway, thanks so much for watching, and until next time, stay in the groove.